Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. And welcome to another episode of Glass Half Full, a podcast and a safe platform where we talk with a variety of teachers, entrepreneurs, spiritualists, uplifters, givers, shakers, and serenaders. Everyone has a lesson to learn and a lesson to share. Let's use our life experiences to enrich someone's heart, mind, spirit, and soul. Through sharing our experiences, we can be a learning inspiration for one another. I'm your host, Chris Levens. Let's welcome today's guest. Today's guest is Jason Butler. Jason Butler has 20 years of executive leadership experience as an executive director, community organizer, pastor, and entrepreneur. He has founded and led 2 nonprofits, 2 churches, a food tech startup, and now helps organizations strengthen their culture of belonging and executive leaders embrace servant leadership. He has a master's in Intercultural Studies, a doctorate from Duke, and is now working on his MBA at NC State. He lives in Raleigh with his amazing partner, Andrea, and their 7 kids. Yup, it's a regular Brady bunch. Let's give a warm welcome to Jason Butler. Good morning, good morning.
Hey, thanks for having me on today.
Thank you for taking some time out. We are so happy to have you as a guest here on Glass Half Full. So the pleasure is all mine. How is the morning going? What time is it currently?
It is 9 o'clock over here in North Carolina, and it's a beautiful day. It's summertime. It's going to be 90 degrees today, and this is my kind of weather.
90 degrees. Oh my gosh. Okay. Is that with humidity?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. With humidity. There's always humidity.
Wow. Okay. It's been a long time since I've been living in the States, so I don't really remember, especially in the South, what the deal is. So thank you for that refresher. Okay, we're going to jump right on in. I like to ask all of my guests this first question. I feel that our lives are in spiritual design. Can you share your life layout or blueprint with everyone? How you grew up, where, your family lifestyle?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a Southern boy. Grew up in kind of a combination of North Carolina and the mountains of Virginia. So Southern North Carolina, Appalachia. Growing up, my family was we were a mess, honestly. My mom, she was married 3 times. There were 4 siblings. I'm the oldest of 4, and it was 2 from first marriage, 2 from the second marriage. And like growing up, we didn't have the family structure that we needed. Probably my mom worked 2 jobs all the time. She was working. And, I learned how to fend for myself pretty early. And as the oldest of 4, taking care of my siblings. So grew up independent and on my own. And I learned this sort of love for adventure and risk and taking care of people all at the same time. And after that, I went to college. I lived in Russia for a while. I lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for 10 years, doing very, progressive work in under-resourced neighborhoods. I love to learn. And so, continuing education all the time. And now I'm, I was married for almost 20 years, and me and my wife, we thought, okay, this is not working. We went through some hard times with our kids. And we have a really, really cool story of how when 2 people realize that maybe this is not the best going forward anymore, that we can still be family, but not the same family that we were. And so we have a great relationship. We have dinner often with our big families kind of combined, and all our kids are great, and we love all of each other. And right now I live with my partner, Andrea. We have 7 kids. She's got 4. I've got 3. And as I say, it's a crazy house in here most of the time. So that's where I am.
Wow. That's a lot going on. And what kind of work is it that you're doing currently?
Yeah, right now, as you said, I'm working as a consultant and a public speaker, and really want to help organizations create belonging. After we came out of after we came out of COVID, 2 years, we're
Hmm.
still in COVID, right? Like
Basically, right.
we're traumatized. Like this is a real trauma that we've experienced. We were isolated, we were traumatized, and we felt cut off and alone. And I'm a huge fan of neuroscience and the brain and how the brain works and psychology.
Hmm.
Right now I think what's happening is we are in a pursuit of safety. Like we weren't safe. We didn't know we weren't safe until we realized we weren't safe. And we didn't have community. We didn't have the tools around us that we needed. And now we are searching for psychological and physical safety. And if a situation doesn't offer us safety, we are out. We are out right now. And that's why we're seeing so many people being like, I'm out of this job. And then taking new and they're like, nope, that's not for me either. And so like we're searching for it. And so like what I'm helping the organizations do is create cultures of belonging. And that's huge. And really goes with a mindset, especially executive leaders, of how can I provide psychological safety? What are the elements of that? And then how do I provide that for my workforce and also my community? And so like that's what I'm helping organizations do right now.
Wow, that sounds really impactful and busy. And now,
Yeah.
is this just you by yourself? Is there a team of people that are you working with?
Yep. Just me for now. Just starting in on this. I was kind of a year ago, after spending 20 years in nonprofit and church world, I was like, you know what? I need to do something else. I want an adventure. I want something new. And so I left that and started this. So pretty new. So it's just me for now.
Wow, look at you. Yes, 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 yes. Nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So now do you feel a sense of more of accomplishment in this area? Do you feel that the work that you're doing now is put you in a place where are you feeling satisfied about what you're doing?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think I'm a person who, like, I'm sort of a person who has trouble being satisfied. I'm
Okay.
always like, where's the next thing? Where's the next opportunity? Where I live in the future. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I
Hmm.
live in the future, and so I'm always thinking about the next move. How do I get to where I need to be? And
Hmm.
so I need to vulnerability. I need
Hmm.
to sometimes just be satisfied and celebrate where I am and what I've accomplished.
Yes, take that breath, take that bow, as I
Yeah.
say.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Because things go by so quickly. Like
Yeah.
kids growing up, it's like life goes by so quickly and it's like, oh, yeah, oh, that's right. I did do that. So me too, taking the time to try to be in the moment so that way we can really smell that air and really take in, like
Mm-hmm.
you spoke about the scenery today, that you can really
Mm-hmm.
just take it all in at a glance. So awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell
Absolutely.
me what's the biggest risk that you've ever taken?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's right now. I was thinking about reflecting on that question. I'm like, gosh, I'm okay with risk, and I've taken risks in my life, and they've usually paid off. But like right now, a year ago, I was really, really good at what I was doing, and I had experienced a lot of success.
Hmm.
And I had the education in one direction, I had the experience in one direction. I was making good money. I had 3 kids to support, and like I left it, and that was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And I honestly, like a year out, things are going okay, but I still don't know if I'm going to make it. So like, I feel right now like this is the biggest risk that I've taken, because there's other people involved that count on me. And so that to me, like before, sometimes when I would take risk, it was just my personal risk. Like,
Hmm.
okay, if this doesn't work out, it's just me. No big deal. But now there's people who depend upon me. And so that makes everything more urgent.
Hmm. That's understandable. That's honest. Thank you for sharing your truth about it.
Yeah,
Well, this is the time we have to dig in and have faith, right? That we
that's
just
right.
believe that things are going to work out for our good, that,
Hmm.
the direction. And, sometimes we're not sure how it's going to be. And so because
Yeah.
we can't see fully, it can
Mm-hmm.
be a little unsettling. So I totally understand. But the way things sound, sounds like you're going in the right direction. So I just hold on. Just hold on and ride
Hold
it.
on, that's right.
Yes,
You know,
hold on.
I often think of like, one of my, I'm a person of faith, and like I'm very progressive, very open to everybody. But I have the faith that I have, that I carry, and it's
Mhm.
significant to me. And my favorite story always is the story of Moses and the story of the liberation of the people of Israel out of the
Yes.
oppression of Egypt. And here they are, and they've escaped. They're out on their way, and their feet are in the water, so to speak. They've got a giant body of water in front of them. They got an army behind them, and their feet are in the water. And like, what are we gonna do?
Mm.
So, like, I mean, that's like the moment of faith, right? When you like put your feet in the water, like, okay, well, this is it. If this doesn't
Yes,
work,
this
I'm
is
done.
it.
And
Yep, you're
so,
right. This is it. This is it. And then that's when, like it says, the seas crack open. That's when things
yeah.
fall out. I just always tell
Hmm.
people, just hold on, just till you get to that end. That's what you want to make
Mm,
it to, because that's where the true test lies, at the very, very end. So
yeah.
definitely. I want
Yeah.
to ask you, how do you find time to keep good mental health with all that you do?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't. You know, I think that I'm a person who's been okay in my mental health wise, right? Like
Okay.
I've never really gone through depression or I deal with anger sometimes, so that's my mental health breakdown. I get
Okay.
angry,
Hmm.
um, and but like I'm a generally, I wouldn't say I'm definitely not an optimist, right?
Okay.
Um, but I wouldn't say I'm a pessimist. I would just say there's glass in the water. There's water in the glass, right? There's water in the glass,
Mm.
and um, so I'm always looking at the world, kind of like, how is it? How is it really? Is my view right? Am I not seeing things correctly? Hey, over there, can you give me your opinion? What does this look like from your perspective? And so, because of that, I'm always like looking outside of myself. I'm always looking out for other people. I'm always seeking, how can I help that person and this person? And I think because maybe I'm really externally focused and not internally focused,
Hmm.
maybe that helps. I'm not sure, but that also has like the shadow, the dark side, right?
Hmm.
That I often don't take care of myself and give myself what I need. I'm really helping other people a lot.
Hmm.
So that's probably the thing that I need to focus on more, is like, I guess what we call self care,
Yes.
which I'm not very good at.
Well, I mean, the idea that you're giving to so many people, it's true. If you are not in good condition, then you can't reach out to give those other people. But I
Mm-hmm.
get it. As a person who is a giver, I find that in the same. And I have to make time for myself to just have nothing, to meditate, to just have moments of silence. Here in Japan, it's a huge bath culture, sitting in baths of hot water,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of thing. But definitely, we have to take some time to take care of ourselves. It's something we
Yeah.
don't really think about. And now in society, it's huge. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
mental health,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, oh, am I taking care of myself? I had to look at myself too. Like, am I being good to myself?
Yeah. Yeah. What for you? What feels the best for you when you take care of yourself? What are the best results for you?
The best results for me are, well, taking care of myself, meaning like when I have good rest,
Mm-hmm.
when I put myself in places where I can have full joy, or surround myself with people of joy that are on the same frequency,
Mm-hmm.
when I can listen to music or be involved in some type of musical educational thing, as
Mm-hmm.
well. Talking with family, old friends, those laughters where
Yeah.
you're like tears running down your face, that kind of care for myself. Then I can give back more,
Yeah.
when I just have those times. And it's nothing big, treating
Mm-hmm.
myself to a nice dinner. I always treat myself. Anybody who knows me is like, Chris, because if I don't do it, who's going to do it?
Yeah. That's
And
right.
we waiting around
That's
for
right.
people to do it for us. If I want
Mm-hmm.
it, I'm just going to go and do it for myself. And sometimes we need rewards. We need to reward
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. We need to feel that, you know what, you did a great job today. What is it? What do you feel like you deserve? And
Yeah.
I treat
Mm-hmm.
myself the best. So
Yeah.
ideally, when I feel that I'm running low, I'm like, okay, we need some self time.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
live alone. So you live in a house full of, people. There's a lot of people.
Yeah. Yep.
So, there's always something going on, I'm sure, when you're dealing with kids. So ideally, just to have a little time for yourself, I think it's important that we put it in the schedule like we would to drop the kids off at soccer.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I think really helps me in my mental health is ideas. I love to think about new ideas. It
Oh,
just brings me so much life to think about even like crazy ideas
like what?
in science or politics or like whatever it is, ideas that aren't mainstream or that are obviously wrong, but then somebody tries to somebody writes such a compelling argument for
Mhm.
this wrong idea. I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. Like maybe it's not a wrong idea. Let's think through this. So
Right.
I love to think, I love ideas, and I resonate with people who are just like, hey, what do you think about whatever? And like, okay, oh gosh, yeah, let's talk about that.
So you enjoy the discussing about just the breakdown of it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Nice.
love that. Hmm.
That's good. Well, it sounds like you're a good communicator. Well, you're a dad, so I mean, not saying that but it would go together definitely to be a good communicator, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Oh, nice. Can I ask you when is your birthday?
January the 14th is my birthday.
Oh, okay. My mom is in January too. Okay. All right
Nice.
now. Yeah, she's a woman of
Well,
faith. She's a
yeah,
woman, a retired
okay,
minister. She's a woman of faith for sure.
cool. Little
Nice, nice.
Capricorn action. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I want to ask, are we truly living in a real life matrix?
Talk about great ideas, right?
Yes, talk about it. Talk about it.
Oh my goodness. I mean, are we? I
Are
mean, that's
we?
like that's like the answer to it is like, are we? In like
Yes.
exclamation point question mark. Because The Matrix is like one of my favorite movies,
I love
right?
it
Coming
too.
out in the late 90s and just like mind bending and social commentary about
Yes.
the control systems and are we seeing it? Are we living in it? And I think the movie has sparked ideas out there in science of like real questions of are we really there? And obviously no one knows, right? No one can
Exactly.
definitively prove that we are or that we are not. So it's really just a really fascinating discussion. I've read many articles on this, and one article that I read was about the computing power necessary to produce this sort of, if this was real, this sort of
Mhm.
reality, this sort of complex detail. And it was basically like the whole world, the whole planet would have to be supplying energy for this.
Wow.
Which to me was a fascinating idea.
Yeah,
So
right. Wow.
that the person who was writing this said, if we are, then we are really in the way future. Like this is way future because we're not even close to having this sort of storage capacity and energy capacity to be able to produce this level of detail for so many.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, what do you think? Do you think we're living in the Matrix?
Well, I feel that there is a matrix that we are in. Now, my
Mm,
matrix is maybe not be with computer chips, but there is physical and spiritual warfare that's going on.
mm,
And
mm-hmm.
I feel that some people are awake to the warfare, and some people are
Mm-hmm.
asleep, that they are
Mm,
unaware that things are
yeah.
going on around them. I feel that more
Mm-hmm.
people are waking up every day, that society through all kinds of things, and people like yourself and other professionals are going out and sharing light in different areas. We are seeing in different ways. There's connections that were not connecting before. And from that,
Mm-hmm.
people are starting to question. And from the questions,
Mm-hmm.
we are starting to feel people are starting to wake up to say, hey, wait a minute. This didn't
Mm-hmm.
make sense. And, it's like that ripple effect. And then you talk with somebody else, and there goes the discussions, and it starts this
Mm-hmm.
beginning. So I
Yeah.
feel that there is a spiritual matrix that we are in,
Mm-hmm.
and that things are going down. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, in the end, you're going to have to choose a side, and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have to decide where you want to be, what you want to do. Some people might not even want to be awake. they're happy
Mhm.
to be content where they're at because, they are safe in that zone. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what
I
I
think
think.
yeah, most people are, right. I mean, like, yeah, if we're gonna talk about like this sort of metaphorical matrix, which absolutely, I completely agree with you. This control system of, and I would even, as I look out, I would even say that it's a real physical, political, and I mean political, not Republican, Democrat, or whatever party you are, but like this big kind of political, Plato idea, political
Hmm.
structures of the world, and there are political matrices to keep us in a direction. And I think a lot of, as I was reading this book, it's called Sapiens. It's like the first 10,000 years of human history, something like that.
Hmm.
I mean, it's fascinating. And he talks about the luxury trap, and that throughout the evolution of humans, we have made terrible trade-offs for luxury.
Mm.
And so we have made detrimental decisions that would negatively affect our future because we were living in we made some small luxury choice that
Hmm.
made our life a little bit more convenient. But yet down the road, that was a terrible choice that we look back on.
Mm. Wow.
So like I think like that right, we face that all the time, right? Like the kind of the systems, the powers that be, like, hey, here's a little convenience for you. Here's a little thing to make your life a little bit easier.
It's
Hand
true.
over a little bit more control of your life, of your future to us.
Wow. Yeah. When you when you lay it out like that, yes, definitely. Yeah. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on
Yeah.
with the Matrix, and
Yep.
it's like,
Yep.
okay, I agree too. When I saw that movie, it was mind changing. It was, and still, like
Uh-huh.
myself, it's one of my favorite movies. I can remember where I saw it in the theater. Like, yeah, it was crazy. And I think I own it somewhere too on a DVD,
Yeah.
tucked away somewhere, because it
It's
was
great.
something that I have seen so many times that I wanted to own it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, that's a great, great explanation as well. Nice answer.
cool. Thank you.
I hear that you say that compassion um, is a leadership superpower.
Yes.
Can you give us some detail about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I love compassion. And when we think about compassion, we just our first thought is like, it's like weakness and what moms do for their little kids. They have compassion on them. But like, no, 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 no. Compassion is so much bigger than this. Like we are literally biologically wired for compassion. We have this nerve system called the vagus nerve. It starts at our brainstem and goes. It literally runs all through our body. It's the biggest nerve system in our body,
Oh,
and it
wow.
touches our heart, our gut, our liver, our kidneys, everything. And science has shown when we do compassionate action for one another, that nerve fires and it releases positive hormones throughout our body. And this positive hormones reduces stress, reduces high blood pressure, makes our digestive system works better. It helps our mind look clearer. It increases our speech
Mm.
capacity of how good we can talk. And so like when we think, and it also improves our likability. I don't know how this works, but when we're compassionate, other people like us more. They just see us. They don't know anything about us. But when this nerve is firing, they feel safe. They like us more. And so
Wow.
when we talk about leadership, when we're leaders, like right, we need to be able to communicate. We need to be able to talk clearly. We need to be able to have be calm under pressure.
Hmm.
We need to be able to be healthy, right? Mental health. And we need people to like us because to trust somebody, you have to like them. And so, like when we talk about leadership, compassion is a leadership superpower. And like we've done leadership in the way of sort of like brute force leadership, and we are seeing the end. I believe we're seeing the end of brute force leadership right now. It is dissolving right in our midst because, as you said earlier, we're waking up.
Hmm.
People are waking up, and they're like, "You can't treat me like that. That's no way. I don't care who you are. You can't treat me like that." And so, like right now, the leaders, I believe, that operate in compassion, that can be in touch with their compassionate self and do compassionate action towards others, even in the workplace. This doesn't mean like, right, I'm I don't believe this is about I don't believe it's about like bringing coffee to somebody. I think this is about the empowerment of the other person, of genuinely caring about another person's future so much that you're willing to take action. So like in the workplace, right? We're seeing the great resignation because employees are like, you can't treat me like that. And companies are like, what do? We don't know how to operate if we can't exploit people. So like everybody's just leaving. But the companies and the leaders who say, hey, employees, I recognize that you are a human being and that you have desires and dreams bigger than this job. I'm going to use my network and my resources and my power to help you succeed, not only in your career, but also your personal life. So here's what I'm going to do. You know, what's your dream to do in this job? Well, it's okay. We're going to help you get to your dream, to meet your dream. And even if your dream means you have to leave this company, then we'll help you do that and celebrate you as you go, because you may come back to us one day, and because our stories keep going, right?
Yes.
And when you find leaders like this who put other people first, people flock to them, right? Like people want to work for them.
So true.
People will find you. They will tell their friends, and people will email you, be like, I heard about this leader. I got to work here. This sounds like a great place. But not only that, wait, there's more. Like there's this book called The Power Paradox. And it is fantastic. It's by this Berkeley researcher, and he studied power for 20 years as like a researcher. And he came to this conclusion that we gain influence in society by empowering and helping other people. The leaders who rise are the ones who help other people. Wow. Like that's like, this is the science. But he says the paradox is oftentimes when leaders get to the top, they stop doing that. And then, you know, we get scandal and we get embezzlement and we get corruption because they stop doing the very thing that got them to the top. Yeah. And so the researcher is like, don't stop. Now you have even more opportunity to help people. Keep doing it. You'll gain even more influence. So like compassion gains you influence. It helps you rise in your career. It helps other people to rise. I mean, it's just like a win-win everywhere. It's like Oprah, right? Like you win and you win.
You get a car and you get a car. Yes. Yes, it's true. And, you know, when you were saying about that, there were a few people that came to mind, and she was one of them. You know, as a giver, someone who is always giving and giving. And it's true, because you give, it puts you in a place where people really respect you and care for you so much. Yeah. So, you know.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. The superpower. Yes.
Superpower.
We need to know what superpowers we have. You know what I mean? Like when things come down for battle, you got to know what you're capable of. So
that's right.
I love that. That is so good. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let me ask you, why is community the next big branding?
Yes, because like what I believe what we said earlier, right? Like we were traumatized, and we're still in a space of like, how are we going to live? How are we going to live in this world that, like, what is our future here? COVID's going to be with us maybe forever. We're being more isolated. The social kind of organizations that our parents and grandparents are part of, we're not really part of anymore. We think about clubs and hobbies and places of faith. More and more people aren't part of those situations, aren't part of those organizations. And so like, but we're lacking it, right? We're village-minded people. The evolution of humanity was in a village. And in a village, everybody is seen and everybody is known and everybody is valued, because we recognize that we're all part of each other's present and we're all part of each other's future. And so we have to help one another, and that there's a community in that space. And so I think right now our brains are searching for community because we're safe in community and we know it. And we might not recognize this consciously, but unconsciously our brain is pushing us towards finding community. And so I believe there can be community found in work. There can be community found in lots of spaces, but there can be community found in work. And so I think that thinking smaller, this is what I tell executives right now. I'm like, you think small. And this doesn't make any sense to you. but think about how you can create community in between your workforce. Now, let's think about how you can create community with your customers. Like
Wow,
this
that's
is really
good.
new. People haven't done this, right?
Hmm.
But we're seeing it. Some brands are actually creating mini social networks for their customers to come on and talk about different aspects of why they love the brand. Now, but they're not only that, now they're like helping one another because they found a common interest. They
Yes.
all love a certain thing that they bought. And so the company's coming along, creating this system where they can build community. And then the company's coming along and being like, hey, friends, we'll help you in your life as well. Not just help you with whatever our product line is, but we'll just help you. Like when we see companies willing to connect us and offer community and then being willing to help us,
Hmm.
you're a customer for life. Like that's brand loyalty right there, right?
Yes, it is. It is. Definitely.
So I think and I talk to marketing folks, like this idea of community. When you look at, I don't know if in Japan, if y'all see this, but Airbnb, huge here, commercials, and their commercials are not about like, hey, you can go stay in this house by yourself. Their commercials now are about their hosts, of like how amazing their hosts are. And you can interact with their hosts on a different amount of level. And so what do we have? We've got human connection
Mhm.
between two people. And that when we have human connection, we're building community. Airbnb recognizes it, like we're going to create community in our brand. And
Wow.
even if it's just perceived community, that's enough. That's powerful enough for people to want to feel like I need this in my life.
Mm. Nice. I never thought. I mean, here Airbnb is not like. I mean, it's here,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not like America. They
Yeah.
passed a few laws here to kind of lock it down a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
that still, just to hear that Airbnb is like, that's pretty powerful. Like they're speaking
Yeah.
about their host, and wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
do it Airbnb. Shout out to y'all. Definitely. But you're right when you put it, everybody needs somebody. We weren't made to be alone,
Yeah.
So ideally, and being in the pandemic, a lot of people who don't really care for their own space and attention were freaking out,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was fine for me, but yeah, a lot of people, not used to dealing with themselves or being locked in their apartments and things of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of community, it's very warming to even hear the word.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
something that is a pleasing sound when you hear it and the meaning of it. So to think of it as a
Yeah.
branding is quite powerful.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we all could feel like we fall in some community along the way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, good. Community. Branding. Okay, I'd like to play a little game if we can.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Yes. It's called Would You Rather.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a couple choices. And
Okay.
yeah, just be honest about what your answer will be. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, the
Great.
first question. Would you rather be able to control animals or be able to see into the future?
See into the future, 100%.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because I'm always thinking about the future. I live in the future, and if I could see the future, then I could do so many things. I mean, of course, if you could control animals, you could do all sorts of things too. But of like seeing into the future, I the dark side of me is like I could be a supervillain if I could see into the future.
Jason, listen to you. Your kids are going to listen to this.
That's great. We openly talk about it.
No, I'm like, be honest. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, well, so if you choose to see into the future, would that mean that you would really start living in the present?
Ooh,
Ooh.
maybe. That's good.
Just the question.
good.
Just wonder.
That's great. Maybe if I could do that, then I could live in the present because I would like the future. Like I got that future. I know how it's going to be.
Right?
Yeah.
And just kind of coasted in to about, what's happening now since you already know what's going to happen. Just a wonder. Just a wonder.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen.
Right? Okay, number 2. Would you rather listen to an annoying laugh for a whole day or get tickled for 1 hour?
Tickle for an hour.
What?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you a ticklish person?
No, I'm not,
Oh,
and
see,
I
that's
also
why.
have like a sound issue with my brain. There's this term called misophonia, and I've got it to where like annoying sounds just drive me. I mean, they literally make me angry. Like if I'm
Oh,
around
wow.
a sound for too long, it I'll be angry. And so even like people chewing really loudly, uh, I can't. I can't deal. I've gotten better. Like I don't erupt. I just leave. I'm just like I'm gonna go outside for a little bit.
Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, ideally, yeah, sometimes the annoying sounds can be a little over, but so that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3. Would you rather wear a constantly changing outfit or a constantly changing hairstyle?
Constantly changing outfit. Yeah, that would go with the outfit.
Okay. Are
Yeah.
you a person who is into fashion?
No, not at all. But I am very particular about my hair. And even
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I don't have like great hair, but I'm just like I want it to look like I want it to look. And don't mess with it, don't touch it, don't yeah. So
Oh,
I think
I can tell by the tone of this, it's for real too. You're like, don't touch
it's for
it.
real.
Don't. So the kids
Everybody in
can't
my
come
house
up and be
knows.
like,
Don't
Daddy, and rub their hand in
no,
your hair.
don't touch. That's right. Don't touch my hair. It's like poking the bear. Like, don't you do it.
They probably bet, like, I bet you go over there and put your hand in his ear.
No, no, no. They know better. They know better.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. That's funny. Okay, next question. Would you rather, let's see, would you rather your only mode of transportation be a donkey or a
Mm.
giraffe?
Oh my gosh. Those are my only two
This is
choices.
it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know how a draft operates. And so in this situation, I feel like I know a donkey a little bit more. And even though I know the donkey's going to be slow, at least it's going to be reliable and it's going to listen to me and it's going to get me where he wants to go. I don't know if a draft is going to like be veering off and wanting to eat all the leaves on tall trees. I'm not sure.
Right?
So I'll take the donkey.
Yeah, I get it. Would you say you know what for sure how this one's gonna go? It might not be fast, but it'll be
That's right.
obedient. That'll be for sure.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, 2 more. One,
Okay.
would you rather lose the ability to cry or cry every day for 20 minutes randomly?
Oh gosh, lose the ability to cry 100%. I could not
Oh,
imagine like erupting in tears randomly. I would just be like, what is
that would be
happening?
hilarious. They're like, Jason, what's wrong with you, man?
And that would be so out of character. I'm a stern guy, and yeah, I'm a fun guy. I laugh, but I come across very like serious.
You're
And
the
so
man's man. Okay, yes.
for me to just cry, be like, what is happening?
Just something's in my eye. Just gotta get this out. Then that question is quite hilarious if that's completely the opposite of your character. Because I would be like, let me have a 20. I mean, sometimes I wish I could cry. I'm not a crying person.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like I would
Mhm.
feel better just to get it out. But I can't make it happen when
Yeah.
the tears roll. They're for real on this one.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
20 minutes. Yeah, randomly. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, 20 minutes is a long time.
Right?
Like, wow.
I was like, no. I feel you. Okay, the final question.
Okay.
Um, would you rather have to write everything you say out by hand or only be able to speak in rhymes?
Oh my goodness. I may go with the rhymes. Let's make a rhyme. I make lots of rhymes around my house.
Do you?
I'm not a rapper at all or a poet. I just am stupid sometimes. And so I make little rhymes. So I you know what? I'd probably go with I mean, I would have to change careers for sure, because I don't think I could speak to corporate executives in rhymes. I don't think that would go down.
That would be pretty cool, though, if you could pull it off.
Now, yeah, it would, yeah. If you, that's right, though. Maybe
You would have that person that everybody would be coming to look for. They'd be like, you know, that guy, he's like spitting rhymes when he opens his mouth. They'd be like, that Jason? Yeah, man.
Middle-aged white country boy talking in rhymes all the time.
I'm telling you, it would be viral. It would go quick. Definitely. Well, thank you for playing my game with me. We appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
that was fun.
Thank you. Back to a little bit more, not as funny questions. I wanted to ask, how do you process disappointment? We've spoken a little bit. I know you said that in previous questions about there are moments sometimes where you get angry, and you spoke about sometimes you walking away and taking things. What is it that Jason does to process disappointment in today in 2022, where you are in your life?
Yeah, I analyze it. In meetings, we get together and we would say, how'd that go? What did you see? How did you feel? Did that meet your expectations? Because like as one person, I need to know how my team felt about it.
Exactly.
Because they may have had a different experience or had seen something that I didn't see that's really important for me to know. So when something happens that's disappointing, I analyze it. I go through it in my mind and I'm like, what happened there? And could I have avoided it with different actions? And you know what? A lot of times I can't. A lot of times you can't avoid whatever happened. And because you just made decisions based on the information that you had at the time. And that was limited. And you can't beat yourself up for it. So I don't ever beat myself up for disappointment. But I do look at it and say, okay, what happened? And how do I take that forward? If it happened again, what would I do? And you know what? A lot of times I come to the same conclusion. Like, you know what? If I had faced that again, I would do the exact same thing. So sometimes things just don't work out, and they're not supposed to work out. They're never going to work out, no matter, what universe, kind of parallel universe you're thinking about. And so for me, I analyze it, and that really helps me to move on. It helps me to like, okay, I thought about this. I really, I learned from it, and it helped me to move forward. And now I have a plan for if something happens like this again, this is what I will do. And so in that moment, I can sort of talk to it and then leave it behind, so it doesn't drag me. So I don't have to carry it around with me everywhere I go.
Nice. Now, is this something that you can do in the moment? Is this a few days process?
Yeah, it's a few days. Absolutely. Okay. It's a few days. And so there is a period there of feeling sad, when things don't work out like you wanted, or frustration. I probably am more, that's where my reaction more often is frustration more than sadness. So there's a time period of frustration that didn't work out. But then, it's like the grieving process, I think, of, like, why did this happen? I don't understand. Now I'm angry about it. And like, okay, I accept this, and let's move forward with our future.
During this disappointment time, are you open to hear other voices, or is it just you need time alone by yourself?
No, I'm totally open to other voices, and I love other voices. And I've always been a person who can accept criticism, and I don't feel emotional about criticism most of the time. Sometimes I do, but most of the time, most criticism or evaluation, feedback is just that. It's feedback of how somebody is, from their point of view, sees what I did or what happened, and is giving me their opinion about what it is. And sometimes I take it, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not ready to take that. I'm not ready to accept that. I think maybe they were biased against something here. But I'm really open to other people kind of give me their perspective of it.
I think that's great. Thank you for your honesty. I appreciate that. I'd like to finish with some finish the sentences. We'll fill in the blanks, but they are sentences. I'll give you the first part, and you just give me an answer where you feel fits for your truth.
Okay.
I'm most grateful for
Mm, I think my family. I'm most grateful for my family and my children.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, yes. All 7 kids. Now, what are the ages of the kids?
Okay, we've got an 18-year-old, we've got a
Okay.
14-year-old, we've got two 11-year-old twins, so two of them, and
Oh,
a
snap.
9-year-old and two 6-year-olds. They're not twins,
Wow.
but yeah, all over the board.
Oh, are the twins fraternal or identical?
Identical twins. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
That is like a Brady bunch.
It
Oh,
is
but a little bit
totally.
cooler since they have twins. Yeah, nice. Okay, awesome. What a great answer. That's so nice, Jason. The next one. I live each moment.
In the future.
When I had heard you say that, I was waiting for this question because I was like, what are you going to say?
Yep.
Thank you for
Yep.
your honesty on that. That
Absolutely.
definitely. I show up for.
I show up for people who have needs.
Nice. Very, very nice. The most important thing in my life is.
I think the most important thing in my life is my commitment to the good of humanity, the common good. That to me is like the driving force of my life. I think it's my purpose.
Wow, we love it. Y'all better give this man a purple star. Get up, get up. Yes, yes. Now that's a great answer. That is a great, and we are looking for our purpose, aren't we? Well, some people are, but we are hoping to find what is it that we're supposed to be doing. So awesome answer. I love myself the most when
I solve a complex problem.
Okay. Okay. Meaning that because it was so complex, it's like it's the reward of like completion. I've done this. Like, good job, Jason. Pat.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I like go out and get a steak dinner for myself.
Okay,
Like,
that's when the treating begins. The treating, like I spoke about from. Okay, nice, nice. Steak dinner. I'm like, ooh, Southern. Yes, I'm sure it's good eating too. Let's see. I laugh the hardest at.
Oh man, I laugh the hardest. Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I don't know the answer to this question. I laugh, but I don't laugh hard.
Really?
Most of my laugh is just kind of like a middle of the road laugh. But there are times when I laugh really hard, but I can't think of those right now.
Is it when you're with old friends, or is it with something that the kids would do? Is it when you're out with your boys and you're out? What could the scenario pull for that? What would the environment be?
There are probably some situations where like to laugh really hard, I have to, it's like I got to work into that space, right? I got to warm up. So I got to be laughing.
Okay.
Then to laugh really hard. So there've been situations where, Andrea and I are sitting around and like we're watching a comedian or something, and that comedian is just on fire. And and so like she's laughing, so then I'm laughing. So I think like when somebody else is laughing really hard, it spurs me to also laugh really hard.
Okay. Puts that extra spin into it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I know it's like, oh, what is the hardest, right? It's like, I laugh, but like the hardest. Yeah. Okay, last one.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. I rise above a situation by.
I rise above a situation by seeing how this can, by thinking about long terms of like in my future thinking, but like my future self. I rise above situations and see like, how can this benefit us in the long run? Lots of times we think just about the now, right? The here and now. But we don't think about the future us, kind of self-interest much. And but when I put myself in the future us, that's still self-interest, and it's going to affect me. So like, I think I can rise above situations when I get out of my right now, like this, my feelings right now, and to think about what are the long-term implications here? How can we seek the best for our future selves in this situation? So like, and that helps me to rise above.
Wow, that's good. That is good. That is good. Definitely. And feeling that you can see not being stuck in the now, feeling it and still feeling like you're grabbing your bags and feel like, okay, I need to keep on moving from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really great. That's really great. In closing, I like to ask all of my guests this final question. Mm-hmm. Is your glass half empty or half full?
Well, as I say, you didn't give me this option, so I'll come. I usually just see there's water in the glass, right? There's water in the glass, and this is what we have to deal with. Mm-hmm. This is our reality, and so how do we get more water in the glass for us and for folks? But if I'm really honest, mm-hmm. I would see the glass half, like there's an empty space there, and how do we fill it up? Yeah.
Okay, so meaning that there is, when you say there's empty, so the glass is not full and it's not mm-hmm. empty. So it is kind of halfway.
Yeah. It's halfway, but I would say that the glass is half empty. That's probably honestly how I see the world.
Yeah. Okay. There's no wrong answer. You said it like, there's no wrong answer. Not at all. Not at all. Everybody has their own perception of it. But it's really interesting. And some people have chosen to put about the space. I was like, is he going to say like the spacing in the middle? Like where are you going to go with that? But some people have come up with some interesting answers. So it's always a nice question to end with to see what people are going to say afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Thank you so much. Do you have any final thoughts for our listeners?
I would just say like, in my work, in my life, each of us has an opportunity to make an impact in our world and to make a positive impact, to work for the common good, to help somebody out. And it always feels good when we do that. And so right now, it looks like our world is sort of stuck in a bad, not a great place. And so many divisions and so many arguments, and, both in a small scale and then on a global scale. But all of us can play a role in bringing good to our lives and those around us by being compassionate, by being generous, by giving, by seeking the best for others, because I believe that when we seek the best for others, that also helps us to rise and seeks the best for ourselves. And so no matter where we are, no matter where you are in your life today, like, let's be the light for people around us.
Amen. Yes. All right. You better speak. Speak, Mr. Butler, speak. Yes, we are so grateful. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Glass Half Full.
Thank you. This was great.
Yeah, we were so glad that we could get you in today and that you could fit in some time to have us. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care. Have a great afternoon. Have a great morning. Thank you. And thank you to all our listeners listening in to another episode of Glass Half Full, a podcast and a safe platform for everyone to share their life experiences. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Levens. Please subscribe, follow, and rate this podcast on Apple Music and Spotify for more learning experiences. Until next time, know you are blessed. See ya!